Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be pairing the EURORACK modular with the Expressive E Touche. So if you're not familiar, the Touche is basically an expression pedal, but you control with your hand. And there's this wooden block at the top here with a spring underneath, and you can push down on the bottom, at the top, and you can sort of nudge it from side to side. And each of these four gestures is mapped to an individual CV jack in the back here. I'm using the Z4000 as the oscillator, running it through the Z2040 filter, and that's going out straight to the outputs. It's also being run through the Fold Processor by TipTop Audio. I'm using the Z4000 ADSR to control both the filter and the micro VCA2 here from IntelliGel. And finally, I have the Tempi, which is my rhythmic gate source, which is used to both trigger the ADSR and the Z8000 sequencer here. Finally, the sequencer CV output is being run through the TipTop Quantizer to quantize the notes, which in turn control the pitch of the oscillator. So if I plug all this in, you're going to hear what I currently have. So just a basic little melody being fired here. And finally, I'm using the maths 2 channels, or channel 1 and 4 here in cycle mode, so effectively 2 LFOs. And one of them is controlling the frequency of the filter. The other one is controlling the inject parameter on the Fold processor here. And then what I did is I connected the Expressive E's, 2 of the CV outputs, one for the bottom press here and one for the top press. And both of those are going into the rise and fall control in the middle here. Look at this light here. If I push down on the bottom here, it increases rate. And now look at this one. If I push at the top, this one increases rate. And of course, I can push down on the whole thing and kind of rock from side to side. So you can get a combination of both or just one or the other. And you're going to hear the timbre shift. So this is the filter. And this is the inject alpha. So that's pretty cool. So now I can sort of use my hand and Alright, so here I've sampled a little drum loop from the TipTop One into the Morphagene here. So let's see. And I've plugged in the 4 different CV outputs from the Touche here. One into the gene size, one into the vari-speed, which controls the pitch, one into the morph, and one into the splice here. Alright, so I've reconfigured the patch here, and basically I've turned the Touche here into a gate generator via the maths, and then I'm using the end of a rise here. So effectively the signal comes in and the rise will immediately get done, which will immediately trigger the gate here. And it's really sensitive. I can just rest my finger. I can also grab that same CV signal from the Touche and feed it through the quantizer. So instead of using the sequencer as my note source, I'm going to use the CV value of how hard I push on the touche. Another thing I can do is run that same CV signal that I'm pushing down here to open and close the filter. All right, so those were just some basic ideas. Obviously not the greatest examples in the world, but you can see that you can sort of use the touche, like I said, as 4 LFOs that you're sort of controlling by hand. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.